Who are you?
I'm the projectionist, Swede Pate. I'm the curator of 100 Years with Nightmares. Trapped in a silver screen that never forgets.
What do you want from me?
You might call me a death collector. I'm gonna love watching yours.
Like going to acting school, I used to work for gangsters. I used to have a job collecting money from people who owe money. Or I would take trucks and go.
Did you punch them?
What?
Did you punch them?
No, but you know what happened one time? They wanted me to collect money from a guy, and he was like little guy, and he was a little crazy, but they wanted me to hurt him, and I realized I cannot hurt this little guy for money. So I realized this is not the life for me.
Electric on-screen charisma that doesn't stop even when the lights come up. And you sacrificed a lot for boxing.
Yeah.
Did you ever regret that?
No, because I really wanted to fight as a career. And I started out in the same gym with Muhammad Ali when I was 11 years old.
You also had 2 broken noses during this.
7.
7. 1 shattered cheekbone.
Yeah.
Operations, but you still love boxing.
6 broken hands.
Oh my God.
No, I lose the tendon here. Torn rotator cuff. But what had happened when I was fighting steadily in the 90s, I started to get what's called short-term memory loss. Like, I could remember stuff from 20 years ago, but nothing from 20 minutes ago. It's like in the gym, you can only be successful if you break your ass.
Exactly.
So when I went to the acting school, I said to my teacher one day, I said, do you think I could ever be like an actor like Al Pacino? And she says, only if you work harder than everybody else.
I like it, you know, different.
Toetsak de muziek, niet?
Springsteen. No, Charlie Sexton.
Charlie Sexton.
Clash.
Clash, right? Clash.
Okay. Look, David Bowie, I like.
Tricks with the soul like ice, 'cause love left holes in forceful kids.
You also got Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah, he's on the road with us too.
Is he speaking?
No, I wish. Can you imagine?
I believe it.
Yeah, that'd be lovely. Yeah, Mickey came in and did a little rap thing in the middle of one of the songs.
And I say,
They like Billy Idol. I like Billy Idol.
Tell me everything about Harry Angel. Harry Angel. Who is Harry Angel? Is it a typical detective of the 50s?
Yeah, Harry Angel. Harry Angel is a typical, like, knock around detective, kind of like a private eye. And he's like a regular guy. He's not like very enthusiastic. He just wants to make a few dollars, and he's like a regular. He's a pretty boring guy.
When you read the script, you accept immediately?
No.
Why?
Because the guy who gave me the script has been giving me scripts for years. Elliot Kasner, and he brings me tons of shitty scripts. So he brings me a script, he goes, here, great script. And then I said, well, Then he says, Alan Parker is going to direct it, so I got a little excited. I read the script, I like what Alan did, I like Alan's movies, and
Is it true that Alan Parker was hesitating because you have a very strong image, a special image? Is it true?
Yes, he was very nervous.
Why?
Because there was some stories about...
Your image?
Yeah.
What kind?
No, just because when we did 9.5 weeks, there was trouble.
Yes.
Because I wanted to make a movie that would sort of transcend anything that had to do with an intimate relationship. I wanted to make a more realistic movie about two people where, like, they're in the corner, like fucking or whatever, and then kissing and then talking, and they got scared. They wanted to make it like a commercial.
Yes. Yeah. What souvenir, what memory do you have of your childhood?
I left New York and grew up in Miami.
Yeah. With your mother?
With my mother.
Yeah.
My brother. And my sister.
Yeah.
And my 5 stepbrothers. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't like Miami too much.
No?
No.
And your childhood? Not very much.
Not too much.
Not too much.
My hand's shaking now. Yeah, you start to talk about it, my hand's gonna start shaking. I never really wanted to be an actor, and
really?
It was slowly. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. After I stopped the boxing, I didn't really have a direction, so I drifted and I thought, I'll give it a try, because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
You like to be a star?
Big nervous star. But I think it's important to still keep that sense of I'm very fortunate to be in my position. I have a lot of anger, let's say, at the way the critics treat certain directors and people, especially myself, in the States. Instead, you get a whole bunch of, like, real plastic faggots that just sit there and they like to, hear themselves talking about...
Was you very nervous before to see Bob De Niro?
I was not nervous. Acting doesn't make me nervous. I was excited because he has, the reputation, and he's done a lot of work. So I felt it was an honor for him to do, to be in the movie and to want to do it. And so it was exciting to work with Mr. De Niro.
Well, if you look closely, you'll see that director Alan Parker and actor Mickey Rourke have some scars from their recent battles. Before we get to Alan Parker's battles with ratings, Mickey, you have been filming all night, I guess, and have the hands to prove it. What's going on there?
We're making a movie.
This is tough work.
Yeah.
I think some of us think that you're in an insulated studio all the time with makeup people hovering about. Not so here.
No.
Is this one of the roughest shoots that you've had, according to your hands, at least?
No, it was just one scene, and it took all night long. We used a steady cam. And I had a wart here, and it fell off, and that was...
Good heavens.
Yeah.
Tight shot on Ward. No, we won't do that. Now let's see what kind of condition Alan Parker is in, because of course,
Unscathed.
as we speak, you have lost the appeal on the X rating.
Mm.
So where does Angel Heart go from here? What's going on?
Well, it was, I think most people agree that it was ridiculous to give it an X in the first place, really. I mean, those X normally go to exploitation pictures, and this obviously isn't. We knew it was a strong film, we knew it was powerful, and we knew it would have an R, and that's what it should get. And now it's, tap dance between everybody, between what it is exactly that does offend them.
But where is the real power being wielded here? Now, there's nothing illegal about an X rating, but it is tantamount to a kiss of death.
Well, I wouldn't say kiss of death. I think kiss of death's the wrong word.
In terms of getting it shown, that is, distributed.
Yeah, what it amounts to is censorship. Actually, I am contracted to make an art picture. The distributors will only put out an art picture. You can only advertise an art picture. Certain theatres will only show an art picture. So we're not stupid enough. We didn't put all that work in it. I've been on it for 2 years. So you want the picture to be shown. And the fact that they give it an X is actually what they're saying is they disagree with certain aspects of the movie. What it is, I don't know. We hope it's one particular love scene. Sex is always a problem with censors.
But it might not be. I mean, this might be a kind of a cinematic roulette here, trying to figure out.
It might well be, it's like I say, it's like if you're performing an operation, you put somebody on the operating table, we could be chopping away forever before we find out what it is they actually dislike. We'd end up with 1 foot.
I'm going to ask Mickey along these lines, if when a scene is cut, Mickey, for whatever reason, that maybe contains work you were personally very proud of,
Right.
does it hurt a little bit like it might hurt Alan for other reasons?
Depends what's cut.
Mm-hmm. In this case, let's see if anything from that particular scene were cut. Would that bother you over much, one way or the other?
Well, I can't let it bother me too much because it happens all the time and you got to get used to it. But in this particular case, Alan has been editing the movie for a long time, and so the cuts that he made when I saw the film, I was very pleased with. As far as with the 6 people, who these 6 people are that gave us the X rating, we don't know what it is that's offending them. We don't know if it's it can't be the nudity, because what we have in this film you've pretty much seen before, man, woman, and
I know.
There's a little bit of blood that falls, and a little rain, and I'm a white man and she's a black girl, so I don't know if it's that,
There's other things that we can't reveal
and so nobody quite. But Alan is unique in this business. He's a very powerful filmmaker. Very, he really gets that thing across. And so, when they're seeing a film with all these things happening, the way he's put it together, that can be disturbing too. The whole thing with the what's it, the voodoo? What do they call it?
Mm-hmm.
The occult stuff. So you don't really know what's bothering these people. I mean, we've seen movies that have more nudity and stuff like that than this particular film. I mean,
this might be a testament to the intensity of this picture as much as anything.
That's the point I was trying to make.
Yeah. You suppose? Well, in fact, could you have made this film 25, 30 years ago during the so-called studio period in Hollywood? Well, I mean, obviously not, but I mean, would you have been comfortable working within a regime even more?
No, I mean, we've all fought for our creative freedom to be able to do it the way that we want to do it, and we've won in certain respects. Only to find actually that the studio regime as such has been replaced by these 6 anonymous people who are not even in part of the movies. In darkened rooms saying this is an X, that's an R, this is PG or whatever. Probably I wouldn't have been able to do it that way, no. But I mean, we have a self-imposed discipline in everything that we do. And,
all right, now, I don't think I'm giving away anything by saying I have not seen a thriller like this since Frankenheimer's Seconds, and I mean that to be a compliment.
Mm-hmm.
There is a November in your soul, I suspect. That was said about Melville. Can we say it about Alan Parker?
Maybe, I don't know. If I understood what it meant, you could say it.
Well, let's try and find out what that might be. A darker side that maybe allows its self-expression on film, if nowhere else.
Yeah, that's true. But you don't know. I mean, as an artist, and I think potentially that's what we are. You do the work as best you can do it, and some things of you come out on screen without sometimes you knowing it.
And when you look at an actor like Mickey Rourke, similarly, there must be something you see there that catches that darker edge, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I dislike intensely the sort of the chewing gum cosmetic movie stars in some of the films that you see today, and he's not that. He has an edge and reality, and in the end, it's all based on acting as opposed on cosmetic image, and that we hope is what the character is in the film.
And Mickey, as we sit here talking about things like this, I guess I would second guess you by saying it makes you uncomfortable, as if we're analyzing something you would maybe rather not try and analyze.
No, I've been down this road before, and it's like a hopeless issue, really. You know, I mean, what are we going to do? We got the 6 people that already voted us down twice, right? And gave us an X rating for a movie that I mean, I think that the 6 people should come forth and give their reasons and their fucking names and tell us why they gave us an X rating, you know? I mean, really.
Isn't it odd?
Let's do that. What are we playing games for, right?
And isn't it ironic that the films that do play in the exploitation houses, the so-called XXX, are not films that have ever been submitted to a rating anywhere? They don't carry an official rating of any kind.
No, there's an enormous amount of hypocrisy that's going on. I mean, this is a strong and powerful film and should have an R.
I take it in conclusion, then, that you don't mind in some ways this film being a kind of a battleground. So good things might come of it, you know.
It's everything you do that has any kind of worth is a battleground. It's very easy to do the kind of movies that are being made right now, but if you want to do something that's special and different, and I hope that an audience will respond to that, it's always hard. It's always been a battleground, and it won't be any different, not forevermore. All the time he's making movies, and all the time that I'm making movies.
There you go. Maybe a bit scarred, but stalwart nonetheless. A pleasure to meet you, Alan Parker, Mickey Rourke. And I'm with them for Angel Heart here in Los Angeles. For KCTV5, I'm John Tibbetts.